Just like when you're working really hard, planning a lesson, doing any of the tasks that take a lot of focus, you need an occasional break. Your students are no different. What you're about to see in the following video clip is modeling of a couple different brain breaks that are very meaningful. Here's something that we have been horribly guilty of in education that luckily is changing rapidly. And that is, we as teachers, number one, use the word cover. I have to cover this material. That makes me shiver inside when I hear that. Because when you cover something, you just run right by it and there's no depth of learning for the student. What we know for sure is just like we breathe in and breathe out, when we're breathing in, it's active. When we're breathing out, we're at rest. Your brain needs periodic times that it can rest. For younger students, if you talk more than 5 minutes, you're going to start losing them. So you've got to get them onto an activity, or you've got to get them onto what we call brain breaks. In the new ESSA regs, it's very clear that these are built into whatever your lesson plan is, that you build in time. Of course, you don't have to say at 10:10 we're taking a brain break. You use your good teaching skills and you calibrate. When do my kids, I see they're starting to drop, so I've got to do a break. But again, that doesn't mean ring around the rosy. ESSA is very, very clear. It needs to be a structured break, a structured physical movement that ties into what is it that I'm trying to get my kids to know and do at this time. When we do that, when we schedule those breaks like that, you get more mileage out of the students' brains, right? It's like they get rebooted, reset, and then you can pile more stuff in, and they get to process more stuff, that they don't get as overwhelmed.
When you have lots of things going on in your head, a lot of clatter, a lot of chatter, okay, can't think right? So you need a brain break. You need a little bit of stress relief. We call this the rag dolls because I'm going to ask you to do this in a minute, but rag doll, you're going to pretend you're a rag doll, you're going to flop down like a rag doll, and you're going to stay in that position for about 60 seconds. You could keep your eyes open or closed, breathe normally. Before we do it, we're going to take 2 or 3 deep breaths. I'm going to ask you to slowly go down, pretend you're a rag doll, stay there, and I'll count. You don't have to count. I'll count to myself, and when I tell you to come up, please come up slowly because your blood's rushing to your head. Don't want you to get dizzy. So when you come up, you sort of come up like this, okay, and then take another couple of deep breaths. So I'll guide you along the way. For you, for teachers, this is an excellent thing to take a break. I would say maybe 2 or 3 times during the day, whether you do this or another brain break, it's very helpful. And this particular one saves your body. It really does reduce your stress tremendously in that little minute and a half. We teach this to teachers and students. Are you ready? Take a couple of deep breaths, 2 deep breaths. Breathe in, hold it for like 2 or 3 seconds, and then exhale. Now slowly bend over, only go as far as your body lets you. Let your hands dangle in front of you. Doesn't matter how far down you go, don't go too far if it hurts. And you're just relaxing, and I'll be counting for you. Okay, slowly, slowly come up. Very slowly, and take 1 or 2 deep breaths. Good. Now, just a couple of observations because I love doing this. Some of you, when I ask you to stay down for 60 seconds, here's what some of you were doing. Okay? Those people that were doing that, you need this, and you need to do this once or twice a day. Other people were saying, you know, when is he going to say, come up? I've been sitting, like staying like this for... So I know some of you were thinking that, but I have news for you. I didn't even get to 60 seconds, but it always seems longer. So that's how much we need this. 60 seconds. Think about that. And people start to get impatient around 40 seconds. Like, why is he taking so long to say? I've counted like to 120 already. Okay? So keep this in mind. This is great for clearing up the mind and reducing the stress in your everyday life.